Could you use a quick tip daily? How about a tip that can impact your day? My name is Rafael. Join me as I bring you tips by experts around the world. These experts have shared their knowledge and wisdom with me and will directly share them with you. Make sure to subscribe, like, follow, and comment, and I would love for you to become part of the New Tip Daily community. Good morning, Tommy. How are you?
Good morning to you. I'm doing fantastic. It's actually my evening, your morning.
I
I'm
was
here in
going
the
to say
Philippines.
that. I was going to say that because you're in the Philippines, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. And thank you for coming all the way so far to be with me. So I
Mhm.
really appreciate you. Um, so I'm excited for today's topic because it's stop living in the 1750s. Well, I don't even know. Was I born then? I don't know. A lot of people think I'm a little bit older than I say I am.
Yeah, it's what it's all about is living in the Industrial Revolution. You parents taught you to go to school and get a job, and that's what
Mm,
we do. We indoctrinate our children to get a job, and that's the 1750 Industrial Revolution thinking. And so it's based on a guy named Myron Golden. He's on YouTube, and he did a video called "Now is the easiest time in history for you to get rich," and
mm,
he describes what's happening. So we had the Industrial Revolution about 10 to 12,000 years ago. So people that owned the land were wealthy and you were not. You were
mm.
poor. And back then you were a slave and you lived about 23 was the average life expectancy.
Oh,
So you
wow.
married 11 or 12, had a baby and reproduced um, your next worker, next slave. And that's what your purpose was just to live long enough. And you had to kind of think about how they treated them was the way the Nazis treated the Jews and just
Mm,
gave enough to live, to eat, and not to run away. So that's how you have to kind of see it wasn't the golden time. So it's good for the people who had land. But then in the 1750s, we developed machinery, and all of a sudden we were able to make products. So
mm,
people that owned machines were wealthier faster than those prior to them. So you had to be in that generation. So if you're too old or too young, you kind of missed it. And that's along the lines of Glaswell's book on the outliers. I don't know if you're familiar with that book, and it was very
mm.
popular, being an outlier. So then what happened in the 1750s, you had the Industrial Revolution, and you went to get a job, but everything was based on permission. You had to ask for everything. And then if you were a good worker, then they say, well, why don't you go to college, get a degree, and you could be a manager? Oh, so then I don't
Oh.
have to work. I can tell other people to be a slave. So
Mm,
that's the thinking we have today. Then in
mm,
the 1950s, there was the uh, distribution revolution. And what
mm,
that means is we're producing so many products. How do you get this out? And that's when we had like supermarkets, and we would have multi-level marketing, and we had door-to-door salespeople, and we had the stuff done through the mail. So Sam Walton and things like that. But Sam Walton needed to know when was the product to reorder, and that was a demand for a computer. So in the 1970s, the computer revolution. So if you were in on that, then you were wealthy faster than the ones in the distribution, faster than the ones in the industrial, and faster than the ones in the agricultural. So each one shorter and shorter. Then in 2000, we had the information revolution with Google and things. So if you were in on that, you became wealthy faster. And then in the 2015, we had the infotainment, and now you didn't ask for permission. You had partnerships. So you
right.
write a book, and Amazon puts it on and sells it worldwide for you, and you get the money. And it's amazing how you don't have to ask for permission. You can make your own music. You don't have to have a contract and stuff. And then they kind of look at late next, and that's as far as he goes with it. But if you think the next one is the AI revolution, but I'm saying the next one now is the free revolution. And so this is a whole new idea because we expect free shipping, free Wi-Fi, sugar-free, everything we want is free. And now the thing is take a look and see, are there jobs? There are millions and millions of people in China that are coming out of their universities and there's no work. There's none for them. Same things happening in America, same things happening everywhere. So are there going to be industries where we're employing millions of Americans, millions of people around the world, That's not going to happen. What's happening is contraction. So
Mm.
the AI is going to replace most of the white collar jobs, which is in America is 93 million. 58% of the people are white collar, and a majority of them can be eliminated by the AI. So they're not hiring, they're firing people, laying off people who are in their 50 years age. They're too young to get Social Security and too old to even get a job. So where are they
Mm.
going? So there's an opportunity for us to live in the free revolution and to survive.
So is that going to change humanity, if you will, entirely? Because people are going to not be able to work. They're going to get depressed. There's going to be all this people who are going to do the wrong things, right? That's a very scary thought because of what AI is doing. So a lot of people are saying with AI, either you go with AI and you advance with it, or you stay left behind. How do we move?
Yeah. Actually, myself, I have invested in a friend of mine's AI company. And even though I'm retired, he needed some help. And so I live very well here in the Philippines on half the money. So I'm able to give him money to keep him alive. But he's had this idea for 30 years of
Mm,
somehow that you could have a somebody do the sales for you. Because that's the hardest thing. How do you get a sale? Then how do you close it? And then you have an appointment setter, and then you have a secretary. So he's actually developed using AI. He's not really a programmer, a code writer, but he is now. So he's been using AI to write code. And the
mm,
funniest thing is he has been at this for about 6 months, even though he's not about this idea he's had for about 30 years. He's tried it, but the technology was never there yet. So now what he's developed is a program that goes on your phone on any website. And so when you go to a website, there's a live person talking to you. You don't have to punch in on a robot because a robot's like an old answering machine.
right.
That's the way I kind of associate it. So now you have a live person and you've spent money to get this person to go to your website. Now what? And it's just they'll leave you. Now here's what is this: you want to talk to somebody. Let's say it's a plumber. They're paying to be on the first page of Google, and they don't have a bot. This one here. So if someone goes to their website, says, I'm leaking, help me. We'll get back to you later. No, not with this one. You can click a button and all of a sudden you're talking to the plumber. The plumber says, you got water running out? Go to the main line. You got to get a wrench. Show me on your phone. Yeah, I can see. Go look further. That's where it is. Turn that valve off. I'll be over in 4 hours. You're fine. Don't worry about it. But I'll be there after my client here. And now he's got a client that he just solved a problem. And
And
the other
that's
one
all
is
through AI?
this is
Oh
AI,
my
and he has
goodness.
been totally frustrated because he asks the AI to write the code and it writes it wrong. And he can't figure it out. He goes back and says, why'd you do it this way? Oh, sorry. They're very apologetic. And they kind of want to
Right.
give you what you want to hear. So he has to go back and read the code and go, there's a mistake here. And why'd you do it that way? No. And it's like a child. And we just figured out AI can't write what he wants to do because it's never been done before.
Mm.
No one has ever done this before. So once we have it, so if you are like a plumber and that says on your website, it answers your phone, it sets appointments for you, and it knows your entire business and company because it knows everything in your website. And if you want to give it more info, it's going to be a better person than you. It knows your company better because it doesn't forget. And it
Tommy, I
handles
need that. I
objections.
need that. Are you kidding me?
Well, this
We
and
need
this
to talk,
is
Tommy. I need that so badly for some of my businesses because just to help people navigate what they're looking for at the moment
right.
is
It's
key.
all live. It's all like a real talking. It has a real voice. You can pick the avatar. You can go back and change things around. And it's by the industry. So let's
Mm,
say it's a plumber and stuff like that can be done for that. But our first client is an accounting, but he's not really just an accountant. He has a business of buying and selling practices. So he's got like 1,500 accounting firms that he has bought and sold, and they're his clients. So if they put it on their website, but the advantage is you make money the next month. So if you tell anybody about this and then they sign up, you get a commission. But then every time they use the service, every month they pay, you get money. So this is a money-making machine for you and all the podcasters. So yes, I will be in touch with you once we have it ready. So we're just about there. So that's the advantage of this whole AI. Is going to put out these people out of business. You think about it. The call centers. There's 1 million people employed here in the Philippines, and there's 1 million people employed in India in these call centers. And in the event that it's just take another more tweaking, and I'll talk to a robot, to a computer, AI, and in 3 syllables, it's going to know my language, my dialect, knows all about me, and talks to me like a real person. So this is going to eliminate a lot of people. So this is what's coming. There's no industries. Think about it. Are we going to have more automobile companies hiring millions of people? Not when you have cars that are brand new sitting on the lot for 3 years.
Right.
These dealers in America have cars sitting there for 3 years. They haven't been sold. They're still trying some for 100,000. Who in their right mind can pay $100,000 for a car or $1 million for a house? It's not possible. So this is what's happening. And so I have a solution of the free revolution.
Oh my goodness. I'm just thinking, so many times I've had technical issues, not just with my computer, but with certain gadgets, certain things, peripherals, if you will. And I call the company, and you're right. I'm calling India, I'm calling somewhere, Pakistan, wherever it is. But it's so hard to understand them. Even if they know the technology, they can walk me through it. But sometimes a call that should take 10 minutes probably takes 50 because the language barrier is so bad, and they think they're speaking English, but they're jumbling it. So it becomes a problem, and frustration on my part, frustration on their part, because they're telling me what I should know, but we're not communicating correctly.
Yep.
That's
And
huge.
that's where these jobs were outsourced out of America. So Americans were working, they're not now, and now they're being shipped over to the Philippines. And there's talk about passing a resolution or something, or an executive order forcing them to come back. They're not going to come back to America and be paid $20 an hour to be on the phone. If AI is going to eliminate these people's jobs, so it's not going to be coming back. I was in Maine, and I went to this area, and all the restaurants are almost all closed, and they just can't keep it going. And having a restaurant is impossible because people are not willing to work. You just can't find anybody who's going to work at those low wages and put up with people's abuse that's going on, and just the regulations. So you kind of think about it. You think about Blockbuster. You remember Blockbuster, and it had 9,000 stores, and they had 81,000 employees, so about 9 per store. What happened to them after 25 years? Gone. There's one Blockbuster store in Portland, Oregon.
There's still
I
one?
don't think they rent out videotapes of VHS. I don't think they do that anymore, but I read that there's one store still with a name. Okay, so who put them out of business was Netflix and the Red Box. So why go to a store to get the video when you're walking to the grocery store and it pops it right out, or you get it in the mail? Okay. Now, Netflix stopped doing that just recently, and they had a run of 25 years. So what put the Netflix and the Redbox out of business? It's the phone.
Yeah.
I have access now to all the movies, free, no ads. I'm not going to pay anything for it. I'm getting free. See, again, free. Everyone expects everything to be free. So the
Well,
world we're
there is a
living in is
subscription,
shrinking.
isn't there, for Netflix? There's a
There's
subscription, right?
subscription services. Yeah, yeah, we have that too and stuff. If you want HBO and different kind of things in the Apple, and those can be subscription. But I get all these movies that I want to look at for free. If they're not there available, well, I still watch it. So
Oh, what do you mean you get them for free? How do you get them for free when I have to pay for it?
I go to HD, and all I do is type up HD, and it's a website where I can watch movies for free,
Oh,
and it has. I'm talking about the 30s, the 20s movies. I can see Charlie Chaplin movies to the most recent ones too. So they don't have everything, but they got most of the ones I want to look at. So,
right.
but again, that's just showing that technology is eliminating these kind of jobs, and so, but people still have to eat. So back to the wages. And I have a little note there called Priced in Gold. And it's a website, and you look up wages, and you'll see there that it peaked in 1970 at the number 3, just to give you a reference. It has a 3 up there in 1970. Right now, it's at 0.3.
Mm.
What that means is it takes 10 jobs today, full time, to give you the purchasing power you had in 1970.
Oh
Because in
my.
1970, one guy working full time had a family of 4, had a house, had 2 cars, had all this stuff. And that's not the case today. And the trend is still going down. So, who in their right mind would go to work when it benefits you? Nothing. There's
Right.
no advantage of going to work. Then you think, whoa, I'll start my own business. What you're doing is you're buying yourself a job.
That's right.
Now you're taking a risk. Now you're working 60, 80 hours a day, a week, and you're going crazy. And who's going to pay you? Who's got the money? Not when everybody's being laid off and not when everything is contracting. So it's back to the free revolution that I'm trying to promote and to raise an idea about thinking about that whole different way of a revolution, how we can become wealthy by giving free food away.
Mm. Well, it's incredible when we think about the stages that we're all going through and the next stage that's truly coming, right? Because if you think about it, it's almost like money is no good anymore. Cash used to be king. Now, even what I've been hearing is that cash, a lot of places are like, oh, no, we don't take cash. I'm like, wait a minute, you don't take cash? What do you mean? Oh, no, just you have to use your credit card or you have to use your phone. You have to tap into your phone and we take money that way. So you're telling me I cannot give you cash? They're like, yeah, we don't accept cash. I
You
went,
pull
I was baffled.
well, you pull out the Federal Reserve note, which is a bill. Someone billed you. It's a bill you're going to pass to somebody else. That's what it is. It's a bill. So, but on there it says legal tender, and there is so much no education in the populace that they don't know that this is by law. You have to accept the dollar bill. You have to accept the coin. But then they say we're not going to accept it. And you're going to go, okay, find somebody else who will, but
Right.
then they're going to that cashless. And that's the thing. If you think about this through, does the bank make any money? They make 2, 3% off of every transaction. That's why they don't want any cash. Do everything through the credit card. So they make the money. So it's really simple that way there. But we do have to survive, and that's with food. So if I'm saying restaurants are just like Blockbuster. Blockbuster was put out by new technology, but you're just not going to be able to hire people. You're not going to be able to do things like that. So there is a way to eat for free and to profit from giving free food away.
So how do we give free food away? Where do I get the food to begin with? And don't I have to buy the food and then I'm going to give it away for free? What does that mean?
Right. You see, so I tried to do this in America and I just felt I tried for 2 years. I went to city council, made presentations to senior centers, to food pantries, to churches, and they all had a commercial kitchen. And that's what I needed to be able to cook the food with. And so I got rejection, and wouldn't do it. So here I am in the Philippines. So this is something I'm going to share with you what I'm doing now.
Wow.
And then transferred back to America. So I will have a track record. I will have the videotapes. I will show how it's happening. And I have the financials to prove that you
Mhm.
can become wealthy by giving free food away. Okay.
Wow.
So I have a girlfriend who is my fiance, and she has a sister who has a farm. We were just there. And so she had all this eggplant. And so they have different grades. The best quality eggplant gets this grade, the B grade, and the C grade. Then
Mm.
she's throwing things onto the ground. I went, what's the problem with that? I was like, oh, this one has a worm in it. And this one here, this doesn't look good. This is not a 3, it's a 4. So the pigs are just going to rot. I said, give that to me.
Mm.
Sure. So give me your trash, and could be a treasure to me. And this happened to me in Maine. I helped a guy out and he was going to give me a $20 bill. And I went, for that, forget, that's not worth $20. Give me something that's trash to you that'd be a treasure to me. So he called me about a week later and he said, hey, Tom, come on over. So I came over and he gave me a pair of gloves. And the gloves had the fingers missing, but it had a mitt over it. Oh my gosh, they were warm, and then I needed to use my fingers. I could do it, pull the mud off straight. And then he gave me his daughter's bicycle. His daughter is 35. The bicycle's been sitting there for 15 years. It's brand new, and it's worth $250. So he gave me trash to him. That's a treasure to me. And that brought me out of the poverty level. First poverty level is walking, then a bicycle, then a motorcycle, then a car. That's the way poverty works nowadays. So we're not the third world. You know, the Philippines is not the third world. People have got automobiles and they have motorcycles and they got bicycles, and we do some walking too. So with that being said, that's what I'm trying to get through to you, is to get something that's trash to them that'll be a treasure to you. So now, let's say I take 100 pounds of eggplant. Okay, what am I going to do with it? Well, make eggplant bread. Eggplant. You've heard of carrot cake, yeah. You've heard of zucchini bread. It's just sweet as bread. You can't tell what. Okay, so I cut out the worms. I cut it all up, and I make it into eggplant bread. Bring it back to her, and now she can sell that as a finished food product. So that's when we put more value. You put more value into that eggplant to make it something sweet that someone would pay 200 pesos for it. Okay, so she sells 5 of those a day. She makes an extra 1,000 pesos. The average person makes 500 a day. So if I would give her 1,000 pesos every day for 30 days, she has 2 incomes with nothing costing her. It cost her nothing. So I think of the movie, I'm trying to think of The Lone Ranger. And the Indian there was going to want this guy's boots, this dead guy. So he took the boots off and he gave the guy a feather. It's always a trade. Right. He's now in a museum and he sees this kid with a popcorn. He reaches down and grabs a popcorn, but he gives the kid a dead mouse. So there's always an exchange, but it doesn't have to be equal. I want this to be unequal. Give me some trash to you that I'll give you something much higher value that you could sell, eat it, pass it away, give it away. I don't care. So now I'm going to have a lot more food than I have paper to take it to, right? So now I take my 5 other loaves of bread to the vendor, to the wet market, the dry market, where the fruit and vegetables are sold, and the meat and the fish. And I say, here is some eggplant bread. I'm going to give it to you free. Oh my gosh. I'm going to make 2 extra incomes every single day. Yeah. Tell me what you want and I'll make it. Maybe she wants carrot cake. Okay. So what do you want in exchange? I have 3 buckets here. Scrape out your seeds, like of the cucumbers and of the watermelon, put them in different bags. And these I can sprout. That would be food for us to eat. I can also turn that into cucumbers. So she's given me the seeds for free that I then grow huge amounts of food with. The second bucket is her trimmings, and that feeds my chickens, the goats, the pigs. So now I have free food for all the animals to raise that then I can butcher and have the food from that. And then the third bucket is food that's edible today, not tomorrow. It's going to rot. You're going to throw it away anyway tomorrow or the tomorrow. So just toss it in here and tell me, what more do you want? I want this to be an unequal exchange. I want to bring more finished goods to you than you're giving to me. And now I have a huge amount of food to deal with at my commercial kitchen, right? So how am I going to do all this? Okay. In the Philippines, I went to a trade show and there was a booth there of a culinary school, and I got the information. For $7,000, you spend a year in another city on another island for a whole year, 4 hours a day, and you'll be trained as a chef. Come on. No, this is a free revolution. I'm going to offer the candidates, several, to be culinary artists in residence. Now, when you have an artist in residence, you give them room and board and maybe a stipend for them to do their artwork, so that then people can come to your facility and see this person doing artwork and see the beautiful work. And, it gives them a chance. That's the whole thing about culinary. So I want 5 Filipinos who want to be a chef come to me, room and board, and they get an allowance, because you got to have some money. You got to have something to have some fun with. And they're to cook all day and bake all night. And I'm telling you, in 90 days of intensely cooking and baking, I'm going to teach them 7 different culinary arts. And they are going to be so proficient. They will be a chef because they're going to know the science behind it. They're going to measure the temperature of the water. What's boiling now? Right. Turn it off. Put the rice in. It didn't cook, did it? Why is that? It wasn't hot enough. Really? It was boiling? I know. That's what we had to take it to the next level. It has to really boil before you put the rice in and steam it. So it's all going to be taught how to crack an egg. Silly, stupid things, but we're going to show them a chicken that actually walked on the ground, ate bugs and worms, and here's an egg made by a factory, and you can tell the difference. This is not a souffle. This will work. So we're going to teach them the science, and when they come out of this in 90 days, we're going to help them open up their own art you eat gallery.
Wow.
So it's not a restaurant. Restaurants are Blockbuster, they're Netflix. It's the old thinking. You can't be thinking the old. You got to be in a free revolution.
Mm.
So here I'm getting free food every day from the fish market. How do you get that? I give them bread. I give them soup. I give them meat. The fish guy's tired of fish. He gives me his fish. I give him meat. The meat guy's tired of that. I give him fish. The meat guy wants vegetables. He wants sweets. He wants ice cream. What do you want?
Yeah.
Tell me what you want. Give me the recipe. I'll take it back and I'll have my chef make it and bring it back to you because he's going to go, how does it taste? It's not right. Well, I did it another way with a bay leaf. Yeah, see. So they're going to try many different recipes and don't believe anything people are said. They had to test it and prove it themselves. And they're going to come to the market, and that is how they're going to engage themselves with their suppliers. They're giving them free food that they cook for free, and now they give the free. It's free to them, right? So
Yeah.
when I mentioned this in Maine about selling free food, you wouldn't believe the shock people had. You're going to get the free food and you're going to charge for it? That's wrong. That's morally. I went, okay, give it away. So, well, how are you making any money at this? So once I prove this, here I'm going to come back to America. Okay, here's the plan. When I was in Maine, I went to a food pantry, and you can go online and they'll show you how much food you get. And you're not taking food away from someone else. They have more food. When you try to bring cans back, they say, no, no, no. I got a delivery coming. I got a tractor trailer coming in tomorrow. You keep the food. Give it to somebody else. We don't want it. They don't want the cans back. It's one-way distribution. It's always out the door. So I was given about 65 pounds of food. I'm talking fresh vegetables, fresh meat, fresh fish, frozen, refrigerated, bread, cookies, pasta, canned food, canned vegetables, canned fruit. I had laid it out on the carpet. It was more than I could eat. Unbelievable. So I thought, well, wait a second. If I could get 10 people, I would have 650 pounds, right?
Mm.
And I can go to 4 pantries. So I could have 1,000 pounds of food, and I was on food stamps. So they gave me $300. So if I had 100 people, I would have $30,000 to go to Sam's Club or Costco. They accept EBT cards. So we could buy, can you imagine how much food we could buy with $30,000 a month
Oh my
and bring it back? Yeah. So this initial 100 people could be from a church. So these people who were connected and working well together, now they are the food distribution place. They're feeding people. So
Mm.
first of all, they got to feed themselves because
Right.
they can't get a job. There's no jobs out there. So what are they doing? They're growing food and they're raising animals with free food, free seeds. So it replicates themselves.
So
So now
Tommy,
what's
let me
happening?
ask you, it does seem like a lot of work. It does seem like a lot of brain power. How do you facilitate something like that in a city, even like New York City, Chicago, Los Angeles, in major cities where Las Vegas, where maybe there is no land, where you can't really grow stuff. I mean, you could. There is ways, but there's cost of living is so high.
And there are many places that you can go on YouTube and see farms right there in the middle of the city. It's
Mm,
vertical. That's what I'm here in the Philippines to do is I teach vertical farming. In a 2 foot by 2 foot square, I can have 40 eggplants in
mm,
4 square feet. I'd have 1 or 2 on the farm that my future sister-in-law is at, but now going vertical. So that's the whole idea, is to go vertical and bring this food in. So what we would do is we would guarantee our 100 people who are on food stamps, they would have a hot meal, a 5-course meal. We're talking appetizer, soup. There's 4 kinds of soup, 4 kinds of salad, an entree with 2 vegetables, and a dessert. And if they say supersize me, we give them an extra. We don't care. It's free food. It doesn't
Right.
matter. So they're going to have their cupboards full of food, refrigerator full of food, and freezer full of food ready to eat, not crappy pasta and not this, boxed up stuff they're eating now. It's high quality food because we have our culinary artists who have to learn how to cook a proper Italian meal and how to cook the sauce and serve it the next day, because it takes that day for the acid to come out of the sauce. So they're learning how to be a chef. And so when people pass by, they would join it's called a PMA, Private Membership Association. It's not a restaurant. We don't come underneath any rules or regulations because we're private. However, anybody touching food at a higher educated level, and they will show any inspector, we welcome any inspector. Our location will be cleaner and safer than any place because we're eating the food. I don't want someone who's just a worker who doesn't care about anything, is spitting in the food and not washing their hands properly. We're going to show them after washing their hands from a microscope, they still got germs on there and you got to do it right. So we will teach them how to properly do all this. So someone driving by says, oh my gosh, this sounds great. I want to be involved. So, but I have an EBT card. I'm not going to give it to you. I'm not part of your church. I just want to have my EBT card. So great. You can spend $10 to be a member. I can't use here's a bag of groceries. So spend your $10 for these raw groceries and say, I want to be a member. Great, you're a member. So then what? Buy the groceries for $10 and come in and sit down for a 5-course meal.
Wow.
And if you say supersize me, we'll give you double. So you're going to go buy a hamburger for $16, a sandwich at Subway for $16. I'm going to give you a 5-course meal. Choice. If you want all 4 soups, eat all 4. You want 4 kinds of salad, eat all 4. I have to have this food going out to teach the chef how to make a different salad tomorrow. So it's never the same. There's no menu. You come in, you're hungry, we'll feed you for only $10. So you add that all up, and one day we can make about $5,000 a day. And our only expenses are utilities and the taxes and any kind of fees and stuff like that, insurance, because our staff is free. We have the volunteers doing things, and they're going out fishing, bringing food back. They're going collecting seafood, and we have people raising animals. We have a local dairy who has the males born, and they don't want the male. They want the female for the milk. They give the cow to us. We raise it, and now we've got beef. So it's just so simple to do. So yes, it's a lot of work, but let me do it here. I'll have it all laid out step by step with videos showing you how to do it. And you can start small and grow it up to something really huge. And so, yes, you can make $5,000 a day giving free food away.
Wow, that's incredible. That's incredible. So people can find you on Facebook, right? Use your name, Tommy
Yep.
A. Kilpatrick.
Yep.
The brain width that you had to put into this is really enormous. I am very, very impressed by what you have done. I'm extremely impressed by the AI that you guys are coming out with. Obviously, we need to talk more about that
Oh, yeah.
because I can definitely use it in my businesses, right? When we consider the human race, there is so much that we can do, but we are limited by our beliefs, by our actions and our thoughts, right? I know we're
Absolutely.
wrapping it up because we've actually gone a little bit over time. So what is the one thing that you would like for anybody listening to it now or at a different time and they're going to hit hashtag replay? What do you want them to get from what you've shared today?
A mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. So open your mind up to the possibilities and stop living in the 1750s, the Industrial Revolution. We're now in the free revolution. So figure out how you can get things for free and you can pass it off for free, but then how do you survive? How do you make some money at this? And it's possible.
I love it. I love it. Everybody do me a favor, share this show with somebody. What a great insights, Tommy. You're a blessing, my friend. You are a blessing. Do me a favor, hang out while we say goodbye to everybody. Everybody, make sure you share the show with somebody who needs to hear it. And it doesn't matter if it's a month from now. Just share it. Share it, share it, share it. Tommy, thank you so much. Have yourself an incredible day, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time.